Did you know there are debts that you may never need to pay again? For many older adults, this comes as both a shock and a huge relief. People spend years sending money to collectors because they believe they have no choice, when in fact the law says otherwise. Across the country, thousands of seniors are still giving up their limited retirement income to cover debts that no longer have any legal power. And the worst part is, many collectors know this, but they keep calling, hoping fear will win over knowledge. Today, we're going to talk about 6 kinds of debts that lawyers constantly warn seniors not to keep paying. These are debts where the law is on your side, even if a collector on the phone tries to scare you. You'll see why these debts lose their strength, how they trap so many older adults, and what you can do if you're being harassed about them. Each point will give you more confidence, replacing fear with clarity and control. So, if you've been worried about debts draining your retirement, take a breath. What you're about to hear may change the way you see debt forever. First, let's talk about old medical bills. For many seniors, hospital stays or surgeries left behind big bills. The truth most people don't know is that medical debt has an expiration date. Each state sets a statute of limitations, a time limit on how long a hospital or collector can sue for payment. In some states it's 3 years, in others 6. Once that time passes, the debt loses its legal bite. That doesn't stop collectors from calling, but it does mean you are not required to pay. And here's an important fact. Social Security checks are protected by federal law from most creditors. Hospitals cannot dip into that money, no matter how much they threaten. That knowledge can change everything. Margaret, a 74-year-old widow, spent years paying a bill from almost a decade earlier until she learned the time limit had long passed. That one piece of information gave her back her money and her peace. If you're still getting calls about very old doctor or hospital bills, ask, how old is this debt, and has the legal time already run out? If it has, you may already be free. The second kind is old credit card debt. Credit cards once helped during tough times, but balances often outlive the card itself. What many don't know is that credit card debt also comes with a statute of limitations. After that period ends, collectors can't sue for repayment. They may still call, but they rely on fear and confusion to get money from you. There's a trap here. If you admit the debt or make even a small payment, you could restart the clock, giving them power again. That's why you need to be cautious and informed. Robert, a 78-year-old retired bus driver, was hounded about a card he hadn't used in 15 years. After speaking with a legal clinic, he learned the debt was long expired. He stopped paying, the calls ended, and his Social Security stayed safe. The lesson here is simple. Time is often on your side. Don't let old credit card bills keep you up at night when the law may have already closed the door. If you're finding this helpful so far, drop a number 2 in the comments so I know you're with me. And if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you hit that button and turn on the bell so you never miss a video. Your support keeps us going. Now, let's move on to student loans. Most people think student loans follow you forever. That's only partly true. Federal loans do have strict rules, but some private student loans can also expire under the statute of limitations. If they've been in default for many years, lenders may no longer have the right to sue. On top of that, federal student loans are usually discharged when the borrower dies, and many private ones can't be collected from surviving children unless they co-signed. Seniors often fear leaving debt behind for their kids, but unless family members are legally tied to the loan, it usually ends there. Linda, an 82-year-old grandmother, spent years paying on a loan she took decades ago. She was terrified her grandkids would inherit it. Then she learned the debt was uncollectible and her grandchildren couldn't be held responsible anyway. That truth gave her freedom to stop paying and finally focus on her daily needs. Fourth, let's talk about personal loans from friends or family. These can be the heaviest to carry emotionally. Many older adults still feel guilt for not paying back something borrowed decades ago. But if it was never written down, or if it's been far longer than the statute of limitations, no one can legally force you to pay. The guilt often stays stronger than the debt itself. Helen, an 81-year-old, still worried about $50 she borrowed from a church friend back in the 1970s. That friend had long passed away, but Helen carried the shame for decades. When her daughter explained that the debt was gone in every sense, Helen cried with relief. She finally let go of the weight she had carried for over 40 years. Sometimes you have to forgive yourself and recognize that the law already closed that chapter. If you're still following along, comment number 4 below so I know you're here. And make sure you've subscribed so you don't miss what's coming next. Fifth, let's return to expired medical debts. This one is tricky because many seniors don't realize hospitals often sell unpaid bills to third-party collectors. These collectors use scary language to pressure you, but if the statute of limitations has passed, they have no legal power. They cannot garnish your Social Security or seize your property over it. They can call, they can send letters, but they cannot enforce it. Margaret, an 82-year-old widow, once got a notice demanding thousands for a hospital bill from 1998. She thought it was real until a senior counsellor explained the debt was unenforceable. That call gave her back her sleep and her freedom. No one should punish themselves for medical costs that the law already erased. Finally, number 6, utility bills after death. Many seniors worry that if they pass away, their children will inherit unpaid water, gas, or electric bills. Collectors may even hint at this, but the truth is, unless a child or spouse's name was also on the account, the debt does not transfer. Utilities can close the account, but they cannot chase your loved ones for payment. Robert, a 79-year-old, spent years afraid his overdue water bill would become his children's problem. He later learned his family would not be responsible. That peace of mind allowed him to focus on time with his grandchildren instead of worrying about money he would never owe. For seniors on fixed incomes, this is important. Basic services may stop if bills go unpaid, but the debts themselves end with you. Your family is not tied to them. So here's the big picture. Growing older is hard enough without carrying debts you are not legally required to pay. From expired credit cards to old medical bills to personal or student loans that time has closed, the law gives you more protection than many realize. But too often, seniors keep paying collectors who have no claim, or they worry endlessly about bills that died years ago. The most important truth is this: you have rights, and knowing them can free you from years of unnecessary stress. Beyond the money, there's emotional freedom too. Many seniors lie awake at night, sacrificing food, health, or medicine to cover debts that no longer exist. That is not how retirement should look. These years should be about peace, dignity, and family. By learning which debts you no longer owe, you take back control of your life. You give yourself permission to focus on what matters most. Thank you for spending time with us today. Share in the comments one thing you learned and how it changes your view of debt. Reading your thoughts encourages us to keep making videos like this. If you enjoyed what you heard, please like, subscribe, and share with someone who may need this. Your support helps us continue to bring knowledge that empowers. We'll see you in the next video.